Hey, Yuzi. There she goes. Hey, it took us a minute though, huh?
Technology.
Technology, man. You would think like in the year 2020 we would like figure it all out at this point, right?
Right.
Especially because we got all this time chilling at the house. How you doing, love? Good to see you.
You too, Rudy. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Second. Okay, here we go. All right, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. See, technology strikes again. No, thank you so much, Yuzi. I'm hella happy that you come through. Not just because everybody here, was like really dying to see you. Like once I posted that Yuzi was gonna come by today, like people were blowing me up. Everybody was super happy. But also just because I'm just happy to see you. I haven't seen a lot of people in forever, but like I miss you so much, girl. How's like the quarantine life treating you right now?
So good.
Right? It's not always bad.
I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. It's really nice to be able to spend time with John.
Of course.
That we haven't done in years. I'm concerned about my dog sitting right here. She thought I was going to go out because I got ready like I was going on a date with you tonight.
Yeah.
And she got all worried because I took a shower. I was doing my hair, and she's sitting right next to me. And she got mad and pulled her pillow out of her little house. And she thought I was going out. So I'm like, just stay here, girl. We're good.
See, that's kind of cool.
I kicked John upstairs, so he's upstairs watching MSNBC.
Yuzi, that's kind of cool that your dog is actually like concerned when she sees you getting ready because she thinks you're gonna leave. My dog for the last 5 weeks has been looking at me every morning like, "Hey man, when you gonna get up out of here, man? Like, ain't you got shit to do? Like, I thought you had a life. I don't see you for weeks at a time. Now all of a sudden it's a flu going around. Now I got to see you every day. Like, what the hell?"
I know. I definitely am interrupting her naps. Like she would nap,
Yes.
all morning long, and then I'd come home, she'd be fine. So I know
Yes.
she's always wondering what is going on. And then I know she said to my husband, a month ago, "You got fired too?" No.
She's like, all these laptops. Where's the lunch pail at? I thought fools had lunch pails back in the day. For those of you who don't know, which you must be living under a rock if you're at least somewhat on my page from time to time. Today, my very special guest, live at 7:45, the one and only Uzette Salazar, or Yuzi if you're nasty. You know what I mean? We all know and love Yuzi. So just in case you guys want to just know right off the bat, you can find her. Her handle is at Uzette, and also her Twitter is at Uzette Salazar. Yuzi, man, currently with the Hall of Fame radio right now. This is what I've been seeing like going up and down your timeline lately. And this is like Monday through Friday, 9 to midnight, right? This is oldies but goodies, and then like some contemporary music too.
It's for sure. They changed my shift recently, so I guess they want me on Saturday nights now. So now I'm. Oh, phone fell.
that was Ella. That was Ella kicking the table like, wow.
Bitch, what?
Yeah. Like, oh, you thought you were gonna have some alone time? You're tripping. I need my food.
So now, it's Hall of Fame Music Radio, and I'm on Tuesday through Saturday nights. It's 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. and it is oldies but goodies. I don't know about contemporary music. We're playing a lot of old school stuff that you guys remember and you don't hear on the radio anymore. And I enjoy it so much because it gives me a chance to look back and just have good memories of things that we had, maybe when we were kids or just growing up. It's just a really good music station. And I appreciate them having me on. And it's been fun. That's what I like most about it. I have fun with it.
The thing you're talking about the music, and I mean this from like the bottom of my heart, when we first went into this quarantine mode, I can admit this now, but at the first couple of weeks, I was having a tough time. So what I did is I like shut everything down. No Facebook, no Instagram, no news. I turned the TV off because it was just like way too much negative stuff. And I really dove into music. And I really just jumped into music, like stuff that made me feel good, stuff that brought back like some really good memories. I mean, seriously though, like now that you're doing the shift every single or Tuesday through Saturday, I mean, do you feel like music has really been helping you out throughout this time for in terms of like just releasing those good vibes?
Yeah, it anxiety like everyone else,
Yeah,
but yeah, it definitely has brought me back and made me realize how much I love music. And contemporary music is fine. Don't get me wrong, done it for years,
right.
but this old school music has given me so many precious memories. So yeah, it's made me feel good. What are you listening to? I mean, what brings you back?
No, honestly, the stuff that I've been listening to, like for me, it's I listen to a lot of like 70s and 80s, R&B. That's really what I was kind of growing up on. But
Yeah.
really, like when I really hit my peak, like in terms of music, it was 90s R&B. And so to me, the 90s R&B, like Jodeci and Blackstreet and Boys to Men, like those are the groups that I'm gonna be thinking about like on my wedding day. You know what I mean? Like that's what I. They say usually they say that the song that the music or the song that you lose your virginity to, like that's the music of your life. So Maxwell, I want to send a big shout out to Maxwell. Fortunate to have you, girl. I'm so
That
glad.
was your song. That was your song.
That was that was my song for my first time, but I felt bad for the girl because the song should have been called Misfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt, really, it was better for me than it was for her. What can I say? You know, what I mean, that's not her fault or mine. We were young.
Typical.
Typical, right? One more thing, Yuzi. So I've been seeing, aside from the Hall of Fame radio, which I'm really happy to hear that you're doing that, and I'm happy to hear that like you're really having fun with it. I also see that you're doing some stuff for Coffee TV. These coffee break videos. I've seen you do one recently with an author, a children's book author, and then also one for a group called Breaking Down on
It's
Twitter.
called Beyond Differences.
Beyond Differences. Sorry.
I'm a I'm a person that is all about community, and I've been doing a lot of nonprofit stuff because that's where my heart is. That's where I dare I say heritage. My family was all about nonprofit, so I'm kind of going back to my roots and doing
Mm,
that kind of stuff and trying to help people. As far as Beyond Differences, they are run by kids, and they started this isolation project way before we've even had this. And so their thing is to help kids that are, sitting alone at lunch, and
right.
just no one being their friend. And they're just all about children, Beyond Differences. You can check them out. Julie Dart, this woman that I know, she's a local author. I like to call her the Bay Area's J.K. Rowling
I
because
saw that.
yes, she does all these children's books. And I've read, she's done 4 so far, and one of them in Spanish.
Oh,
So
nice.
she is just trying to make a difference in the world and helping kids. And so, come on,
Of
that's
course.
dear to my heart. So yeah, I've been doing the coffee TV breaks and trying to promote nonprofit organizations, but certainly not limited to other stuff.
Okay, just a shout out to 707 Woke right now asking a good radio. Where can they find HOF Radio? You can find that at hofmradio.com or the TuneIn app. Either one of those will suffice. It'll take you right to it. Hey, Uzi, you mentioned something right now about nonprofit being part of your heritage.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that? Is that something that you and your family really like? Did your family like really drive that into you as a kid?
Yeah, I'm a third generation DJ, jock, whatever, host, whatever you want to call it. And my grandfather, way back when, did a gardening show. My dad did a show, Oldies but Goodies as well, and did a public affairs TV show back in the day. And I remember the day that we would listen to my dad on the radio, but one day he's like, I don't know what the problem was, but I don't think we had a babysitter. So he brought all 3 of us in
Oh,
to his radio show.
typical Mexican dilemma. That's a typical Mexican. They're like, what do you think we had 3 kids for? So you can take care of each other. What are you talking about? Babysitter.
I know. So he brought us into the show, and I sat on his lap, and he's like, Mija, who are you? And I'm like, Dad, you know who I am. And, so it just instilled in me that I love radio and I love music so much. So it's very important to me, and I hope that he's proud, and I want to continue that.
Yeah. Is there any like, if you could put together maybe like a nonprofit or some sort of organization, like what would it be centered around? Would it be kids? Would it be community work? Like what type of stuff would you like to really emphasize on?
Well, music, of course, and how music brings people together, families, even strangers together. And music is just so amazing and brings back memories that are good. But
Right.
in terms of me doing a nonprofit, yes, I would definitely love to be involved with stuff like that. Just bringing music together with community.
I'm feeling that. That's dope. You know, you're talking about memories and stuff, and I can't help but think about this picture that you posted on your Facebook not that long ago of
What?
you in elementary school. It was like a class picture of you in elementary school. Where was that? Was that like in LA? Was that
No,
in school in LA?
that was in Noe Valley. I was born in East LA. Say what you want.
Right, right. That's why
Boyle
I had to
Heights.
play. That's why I
Yeah,
had to
I'm
play
from
Kid
Boyle
Frost.
Heights. Originally
Yeah,
from Boyle Heights. Yeah.
yeah. Don't mess with her, y'all. She got a butterfly knife on her at all times. That's a fact.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
It's on my
So
keychain. It's on my keychain. But I grew. My dad brought us over to San Francisco for a radio job, and we grew up in Noe Valley, in San Francisco in the city, and it was magical and wonderful, and we loved it so much. And we went to Catholic school, and it just brings back so many memories. I have dreams at least twice a week of one of the homes we lived in, and oh, I just love the Bay Area. I love San Francisco. I love where we live now.
right.
A different kind of community, but it's beautiful living here in the Bay Area.
Right. No, it's every time I meet comics or whatever that come in from out of town, they always say the same thing. They're like, damn, like the Bay Area's just got this feel where, you know, it's different from everywhere else, especially because you have so many different people that intermingle with one another, as opposed to like different parts of the country that I've been to. There's like segregation still, like self-imposed segregation in a weird way. But the Bay Area is we're very together. We're very cohesive.
Yeah, it's a lot of diversity going on. In terms of growing up, we did Cinco de Mayo in the Mission. I had to work it because my dad was part of sponsoring it and hosting it and just making sure that they had vendors. And so I did Cinco, Carnival. I did all the stuff that the Mission needed at that time. Even as a kid, my dad put me to work.
Right. And of course, you got to learn the value. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's what my parents always wanted me to understand is like just the value. They didn't want me to necessarily do what they did, but they just wanted me to like really appreciate stuff. You know, so that's I just always feel like that's just a good characteristic to carry around with you. Because look, even now to this day, you still have value in what you do, and like you're working at a different radio station doing different projects, and you're just really committed to what it is that you step into at all times.
I'm
That's
very
a lifelong lesson.
It is. It's so great. And I just am very community. Even here where I live in Redwood Shores, um, I stopped off at the fire station here tonight before I came with you and donated a meal to the men that were working there, men or women, whatever, firefighters that were
Right.
working, and just bought them a family meal of ribs and beans and potatoes and just because I needed to say thank you.
Yeah. Damn,
It's
girl,
really,
you making me hungry. You said ribs and beans and potatoes. I'm about to hit up my favorite taco truck right now. See if they can do DoorDash. So hey, usually, so here's the thing. Like every time I love hearing you talk about your radio journey, so to speak, because I think a lot about my own personal radio journey and like what a big role you played in it. Because you know, for those of you guys that don't know, like Yuzi and Bryn and Human and everybody from the Alice crew, like they welcome me in as you know their friend Rudy and everything. So I know how big of a role your presence has played in my radio journey. How would you describe your radio journey up until now, from when it started to up until now? Has it been up and down? Has it been like a dream come true? You know, describe what your radio experience has been like.
I'm going to say it's been so positive that I couldn't have imagined how far I came, and I couldn't have done it without people that you mentioned, and it's gonna keep going. You know, I mean, I've been in radio. I don't want to say my age or anything. 52.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. All right.
But I mean, through the ranks, I've worked about 13 radio stations throughout my career.
Yes.
But yes, my biggest impact was at KCBS Radio and Alice Radio. I appreciate everything Alice Radio is, and they've done a lot for me. I've done a lot for them, and I still consider KCBS and Alice Radio my family.
Of course. I know one thing that nobody ever gets used to is waking up early in the morning. That to me is like, no matter how much I do it, it's never something that I just like, okay, I'm excited to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Do you feel like a little bit of relief not having to wake up so early every single day?
No.
No? No. Are you still like on a clock? Like, are you still waking up early like that?
Well, I'm getting up a little bit, like hour by hour. I'm getting up a little bit later. But yeah, for, before everything happened, I was just still waking up at 2 a.m.
Of course.
And getting up and cleaning in the kitchen and still doing stuff. So it's getting later. So now I'm waking up like at 5. So that's good.
Yeah, right. That's good. Yeah. Wait for the sun to go up first. Let the sun do its thing first.
I wait for the sun to come up so I can take the dog out for a walk.
Yeah.
And then I start planning what I'm going to make to eat for the day. What am I doing with my husband? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, I'm always thinking about what I'm going to make next. And I want to keep him healthy, so I cook good meals. But, I mean, I want to work, and that's kind of my thing. I've sort of been keeping right here a little journal with me about everything I'm doing every single day, because I want to keep being a part of the Bay Area and keep being relevant, if that's not insulting to anyone.
Right.
But, I want to keep moving forward. And just because I ended with Alice doesn't mean I ended with Uzette. Uzette,
of course not,
is a survivor, and she will go on, and she's a hustler, and I'm creating jobs that weren't even jobs.
That's real. No, that's hands down, Uzi. That's why in the story that I posted today, of course I mentioned where you're working right now, but also I wanted to let people know that you are the most badass sweetheart that I've ever known. Because yes, the hustler mentality and the spirit of the hustler is definitely within you. So that's one of the things that I've always admired about you. For those of you guys that are just joining us right now, I'm here with Uzette Salazar. She needs no introduction, from Hall of Fame Radio and also Coffee Breaks on Coffee TV. One of my dearest friends in the radio world, and just one of the sweetest people that I know, hands down. Uzi, I wanna ask you about this, because you mentioned like waking up and thinking about what you're gonna make, for dinner and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. That's all I've been doing every single day, is just thinking about what am I gonna eat next. You know what I'm saying? Like this quarantine has got me just like reading menus in my mind all day. Like, all right, I had eggs in the morning. I should probably have a tuna sandwich for lunch, maybe some chicken for dinner. It's like, man, the quarantine has just got me just thinking about what my next meal is. What do you spend? How do you spend like a typical, quarantine day at the house? Like, what's your routine like?
This is very silly. I wake up in the morning and I watch, King of Queens. Props to Jerry Stiller.
Oh yes, R.I.P. R.I.P. Jerry Stiller.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry! Yes.
Jerry! Serenity now!
Yes! So funny, man. One of the best to do it, man. R.I.P. 92. God bless him.
Yeah. So there's that. And then I wait for Mad Men to come on.
Okay.
Mad Men comes on the audience channel, whatever channel that is. And I watch that, and it gets me sort of geared up and ready to take on the world. And then John, comes in the room and sits with me. Because I make him sleep in the other room because he snores.
Right.
We watch that together, and then he gets in the shower, and then I get on Pinterest and I start going, okay, what do we have? What do we have in the fridge? What can I make? What is healthy? What is good? And so I start thinking about that. And then once Mad Men is over, I take the dog out for a walk. And then I start, vacillating on what I'm going to be making. And then I come back in. I put the dishes away from last night because I cook, clean, cook, clean, cook, clean. And then I start doing some radio business, and I start recording a show. And then I start thinking about what I'm going to do for Coffee TV and what I can add to the mix. They have so many wonderful hosts. I'm not the only one. There's so many hosts there at Coffee TV, and everyone's doing their own thing. So that's really delicious. So I just start thinking about ideas. Again, that's why I keep my little book here and write ideas down constantly. And some of them stick and some of them don't. And that's okay. If I have 20 ideas and people can accept 2, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people make the mistake usually of like they write something down and they think that every single thing on that list has to be gold. You know what I mean? Like, for example, comics will do that too. Comics will, write 100 jokes, and like if you're lucky, you know what I mean, like 5 or 6 of them are gonna be like solid gold. The other ones are gonna be like, all right, I wish I wouldn't have wasted my ink on that because that was no good. You're gonna get like silent crickets when you tell that joke. But it's really just about jotting down ideas and just like constantly churning out new ideas. And one of them eventually is going to hit, right?
Right. Exactly. Right. You just never know what's going to strike someone, and you just got to keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask you what's one of the things that you look forward to the most, like if and when shelter in place? Because they're saying that they're going to extend it in LA another 3 months. So who knows what might happen here in the Bay Area, but is there anything anything in particular that you can't wait to get back to, like if and when shelter place is done?
Well, I'd love to go to my local restaurant and bar and have drinks with people, for sure.
For reals.
And I didn't know how much I don't want to say needed. I didn't know how much I adored talking with people, and having human.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much I loved that. I just thought it was whatever. But now I feel like, oh my gosh, that'd be great. Dude, today I went to the Grill House restaurant down the street to buy the meal for the firefighters, and we were all wearing our masks, our gloves, and there was someone I ran into, and it was just like, hey, and we were standing like hella feet away from each other, and it was like, we're like, so I miss that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about human contact, about like interacting with each other, because we do a lot of these Zoom shows now. In comedy, we do these Zoom shows, and it's fine, but it's not the same though. You know what I mean? It's like there's a difference between making love and watching somebody make love. Like yeah, my eyes are there, but my heart's not really in it. You know what I mean?
And I can't feel it.
Yeah, I can't feel it. The best I can do is take a screenshot. That's all I can do. That's it. But you're right though. It's the human contact, the human interaction. And like when people ask me, what is it that I miss the most? I mean, I miss people. I just miss people in general. You know what I mean? Because like I always think about, like when I was over on Battery Street in the city, just going out to go get a drink or go get some dinner after the show. And it was just like, that's really what you enjoy, is just the back and forth, talking to somebody. Why do we take that for granted? Why does it take a pandemic for us to realize that that's important to us?
I guess something happens in our life that makes us have to appreciate stuff. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because this isn't really something that anybody could legitimately plan for. You know what I mean? Like nobody knew that this was going to happen.
Right. Well, obviously. How are you going to come back from this, man? Your whole deal is comedy and touring around. You're still doing your radio show on TLX, right?
Yeah. Fortunately, that hasn't been affected. The morning show hasn't been affected. So we're doing the shows from home. So, we're definitely not in the studios or anything like that. I have everything set up here at home where I just literally roll out of bed and then walk over to the table and just do the show from there. So that's cool. but you already know, usually, like, my bread and butter is stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? So if it wasn't for comedy, I wouldn't have never stumbled into radio. So for me, I'm waiting. You know, I'm just waiting and hoping that things will turn around so that the clubs will be willing to open back up at some point. Because right now, think about it, like, stand-up comedy is one of those industries where it's highly affected by coronavirus, because the nature of stand-up comedy is to have a bunch of people together in a room that are like shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to do that right now. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Nobody wants to catch the Rona. Nobody wants anybody coughing on their neck or anything like that. I get it. I get it. And sometimes in the comedy club, you know, somebody tells a good joke and there's some dude behind you and he laughs. Like, some of his, like, Hennessy is going to go right on your ear. And you're like, oh, God, I get that off me, you know? But I'm hoping. I'm very optimistic. And I keep thinking that things are gonna take a turn for the better of sooner than later. Because I don't know. I think deep down inside, I'm just like a hopeless, optimistic person, and I'm just hoping that it's gonna work out in the long run, you know.
Maybe you should do a show. Like, I see a lot of these things where we can buy a ticket to your show and watch you do stand up.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great on Zoom. People are doing that right now. Like, you know, Scott Capurro, for example, he's doing a lot of that, and he's killing it. You know what I mean? Like, he's got people coming and checking the show out. So, but deep down inside, usually, if I could be 100% real with you, deep down inside, I'm just like, I'm still in denial, kind of. You know, like, I don't want to give into Zoom. Like, I keep on wanting it to be normal again, you know, and everybody keeps talking about how things are just going to be different now, the new normal. And in my mind, I'm just denying it. I'm like a kid that doesn't want to accept their new stepdad. I'm like, no, I'll never call him dad. I'll never do it. You know what I mean? It's been tough. It's been tough in that regard.
Well, you might want to think about getting with the program, because that's what our new normal is right now. And you have to accept it. I know no one wants to, but you have to. And Rudy, you need to make some money right now.
That's real.
I'm sure you're doing okay with your radio show, but you need to make some money.
Yeah. And also, like you mentioned earlier, you know, when you do something, like when your passion it consists of being in the public eye, so to speak, like, you want to do stuff to stay there so that when things get back to normal, if things get back to normal, you can kind of just pick up where you left off, you know? So in terms of getting with the program, that's kind of why I started doing this type of stuff, like where I'm talking to my friends in the comedy and in the radio world. I like doing this type of stuff because it kind of keeps me in the know, and it kind of keeps me circulating. So again, I appreciate.
Have you done? Do you know cameo.com? I'm sure you've heard of it. Cameo.com.
I have heard of it. But I don't know. I don't know too much about it. Tell me about it.
Get on there, cameo.com, and Rudy, maybe what you can do is jokes. Like, what you do. So I signed up for it because I was raising money for this organization called ponyexpress.com. It's a equine center for children in Santa Rosa. And so what it is horses helping children at risk, and horses helping children that are challenged, whatever.
Right.
So what you can do is go on cameo.com, and I'm not getting paid for this, for saying that.
Right, you're right.
You know me, I'm always throwing out ideas for you.
Of course, so, I know.
So if you go on there, perhaps you set up a profile, and you can say that, hey, for $10, I'll throw a joke to you. I'll send a video to you, you know, and then you can do a joke. And you could say, I wanted to joke on my brother or something. I'd be like, hey, Rudy, I'll pay you. And you could be, stars do it for $10, $20, $50, $500. You name your price. Cameo does get a slight percentage of it. I can't remember what it is. But maybe you can do like jokes for people. Like, maybe people can send you, they'll write on there or send you an email or something. And then, hey, my brother hates blah, blah, blah. Can you do a joke about that? My sister-in-law's this, that, and the other. And then you throw them a joke. And it's just like videos that you do. I think it's no longer than 30 seconds. But it's a way you can make some money, you know, just in your own pocket.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling that. That's a great idea. These are the type of things that guys like me, like people like me that are traditionalists, like we have to, like you said, get with the program at some point and really just kind of like get with the times, you know, because I'm like that guy that's still trying to buy DVDs in a world full of
What, at
Blu-rays.
the flea market?
Yeah, girl. You know you can get I can buy 2 DVDs, a pair of shoes, and a monkey wrench for $12. Come on, that's
Yeah.
a deal. You
But
can't
then
find that
someone's
anywhere.
head is bobbing up and down in that DVD as they're filming it at the movie
Yeah.
theater.
It's a bootleg. It's a bootleg copy of my life. That's what they're filming. We're talking about DVDs and stuff like that. I don't know if you said you were watching King of Queens and Mad Men. Have you been binge watching anything lately? Like on Netflix or Hulu?
Well, I gave in and I've been a Netflix nonconformist. I'm like, bleep that. No way. I pay way too much for cable that I'm watching all the cable stuff. Well, we did a 3-month trial for Netflix, and then the bill came.
Yeah.
And then my husband said, you know what? Let's just keep it for now. And I'm like, okay, it's on your credit card. Okay.
You pay for it, babe. You got it.
$8.99. So anyway, I did. I binged Ozark.
Oh my goodness! Did you watch the whole thing?
Or you just heard about it?
No, girl. I watched the whole thing. It pulled me in like crack. Well, I was committed.
I was sort of half committed. Like I took a hit, and I'm like, and then I took another hit. I'm like, and then afterwards, I'm all, okay.
Yeah, put it to my vein.
Yeah, so I ended up watching the whole thing, and then I was reading the other day that it's not coming back. Jason Bateman is saying that he committed to 3 seasons, and there's no production going on right now, as you know, and it's going to come back for another season. But my feeling in walking away from this, actually, a couple articles I read that he's kind of done with it and ready to move on to another project.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, well, shoot, the way it ended.
So yeah, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I know there's people out there that haven't seen the whole thing yet, but man, the way it ended was really incredible, and it really set it up in a way where you're like, oh, I can't wait for season 4. Like for sure, season 4 is going to be fire. But Jason Bateman, I just want to throw this out there. Like, I think people forget like how good Jason Bateman actually is. You know, he was in Arrested Development and a bunch of other little like side movies, but he was never really like the star in anything. But in Ozark, though, like he crushes it. He kills it. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a great supporting actor, but he's fabulous, and he directed a lot of those episodes. So executive produced it and all that stuff. So it's really good.
So here's a little tidbit for all the people that loved Ozark. I don't know if you guys have gone back and watched Waco. It's on
Netflix. I haven't pushed.
Okay. Well, no. Well, this is the thing, though. I won't spoil Waco for you. Obviously, you already know what happens. I mean, it's a real life story. But I'm like, they get away. The Branch Davidians float into the sky, and they be like, "Peace, motherfucker." You know. No. If you go back and you watch Waco, you'll notice that the girl who plays Ruth,
I love her.
The Justin Timberlake lookalike, the Justin Timberlake double, she's in Waco also, and she plays like.
Hold on. You're saying she reminds you of Justin Timberlake, Ruthie?
Oh yeah, for sure.
He does?
Yeah, the early Justin Timberlake back in '99 when he had the little cup of he had the cup of noodles, the Maruchan hair curls.
He had his perm going on. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So she's in Waco also, and she plays like a totally different role. And when I saw her in Waco, I had to pause it, and I was like, "Oh!" I was like, "That's Ruthie right there." So anybody who's been I was really in the screen like, what is that? That's Ruthie. That's Ruthie.
Oh my goodness. Oh, she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
She was so good. She makes me think like how much range it takes for an actor, because in Ozark she's like a gangster, and in Waco she's like a totally different thing, like a totally different type of character, because she's a Branch Davidian. Yeah. Have you by any chance, Uzi, have you ever like dabbled in acting ever in your career?
Very little. I'm a terrible actor. I can't fake anything to save my life. I'm just very real at what I do. I'm very in the moment, and
Right.
I'm a bad actor.
No, I can't imagine you being bad at anything. So you probably suck like at charades then, right?
Well, you know why? Because I probably get pissed because you're not getting what I'm saying.
You're one of those. You're one of those people.
I'm like, what the bleep? What?
It's like umbrella. It's umbrella. God, don't you understand what umbrella is? Jesus, you're one of those people. Yeah, I've played with a lot of those people before. Usually, I won't keep you for too long. I mean, you've been hanging out with me for a little while now, so I appreciate you just coming over. Look, people, let me tell you right now, let me go down the list. First of all, thank you to everybody that's tuned in. You guys already know what time it is. It's live at 7:45, and today, obviously, my very special guest, Uzette Salazar, a.k.a. Uzi if you're nasty. People are showing a lot of love. You already know that, Uzi. It's Ed Castellanos says hello. Ruthie, the actress who plays her, is also in Dirty John.
I have watched that show before. Okay, I'm going to go back. Okay.
Yes. Kelta T1 says, thank you two for doing this. Needed the laugh. Von the Wizard, my man Von, what's up? He says Waco was amazing, so he loved that. Adam Reyes, yes, easy for Bateman to say, harder for the older than 35 ladies to get parts. Oh, okay, so he's saying that Jason Bateman can continue to get older and get parts, but I guess Ruthie in a couple years won't be able to do anything, according to Adam Reyes 30.
Adam, stop it.
Yeah. Miss Lily Daisies says, hi, Use. Archer Losing says, don't spoil it. I'm getting a lot of don't spoil it. This is not.
We're not.
Don't worry. This isn't the movie review. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's all good. And PRP L Hayes says, Uzi, I love you. And that is just one of like so many comments, Uzi. Obviously, there's so much love for you going out on the comment section today. So I mean, I just really want to reiterate how much we love you and how much we super appreciate everything. And I super appreciate everything that you've done for me, and also even just hanging out with me for a little while. Thank you.
I love you.
Yes, I love you too. And I always do this, Uzi. I always give anybody that takes their time to come and hang out with me, I always give them the last word. Anything that you want to share with whoever's watching, the floor is yours. Please feel free.
I appreciate everyone so very much. I mean, throughout my career in the Bay Area, whether it be radio, TV, or print, I just love what I do, and I just hope to keep pushing forward and doing more things for the community. And just if anyone has ideas or anything, or just want to say hello, I'm all over the place on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Whatever you want, I'm here for you, because that's what I'm all about.
Uzette Salazar, the one and only Uzette Salazar. You can get her. You can follow her. Her Instagram handle is @Uzette. Her Twitter handle is @Uzette Salazar. Again, she's with Hall of Fame Radio. That's HOFMradio.com. Or go and get the TuneIn app if you want to check her out. She's on Tuesdays through Saturday, 9 p.m. to midnight, playing all the oldies but goodies. And also, do not miss to catch her on Coffee TV doing the coffee break videos for a lot of great causes. Uzi, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I'm always in your corner, and I'm always rooting for your success, and I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little while.
Love you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, so hopefully we can get together and get that drink as soon as this shelter-in-place thing is over, and I'll bring some of my DVDs. We can watch some of my old-school DVDs.
Those bootleg ones? No thanks.
All right, Uzi. Thank you so much. You have a great night. Love you too.
Bye.
All right. All right, you guys. That was the one and only Uzette Salazar. As you guys all saw right there, man. Thank you guys so much for coming through and joining me live at 7:45 with the one and only Uzette Salazar. You guys have been phenomenal. These are the most numbers that I've done on these. So I appreciate all of you guys. Sarah Rose 729, Go Boingo, Karen Elizabeth, Outdoor Natalie, One Myriad. All you guys, appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Hopefully we can keep on the shelter in place, and I'll keep bringing cool people on like Uzi. Very few cool people like Uzi, but I'll do my best. All right. Thank you guys again for joining me. Have a blessed night. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.